Actually, America is a thug. Seriously, America is a thug. It uses all that Hollywood stuff, all that glitz and glam to armor itself to manufacture its own legitimacy. But in reality, there's a lot of very dirty laundry underneath, especially when you challenge the American international order. The way America reacts. Well, maybe you can't just call it a thug. It acts exactly like the Monkey King on Monkey Hill, or the alpha male in a lion pride. When a young lion comes over to challenge the throne, or a young buck monkey grows up and wants to fight, the old Monkey King isn't going to win them over with virtue. America doesn't do virtue in that moment. Usually America is all about virtue, like, hey, sit down, let's talk. But in that moment, never. And right now, without a doubt, America has reached that moment again. And today's America looks even more divided, because President Trump himself is a highly controversial figure. Trump's behavior, his language, his so-called style from the past, his backstory, it has all pushed the American public to the brink of a civil war. In Minnesota, the war between regular folks and ICE, the struggle, the resistance, it's reached a level of intensity that feels like the edge of a historical civil war. The last time we saw this kind of clash between the National Guard and the government army, the feds, was back in the Martin Luther King, I have a dream era, the 1960s, the civil rights movement. A lot of those conservative folks down south, the rednecks, just couldn't accept black and white kids going to school together. They just couldn't take it. And the local National Guard, the state troops, they couldn't accept it either because they were locals, right? So the president at the time ordered the army, I remember it was the 101st Airborne or the 82nd, the toughest troops America had, to go straight to that state, Little Rock, right? To protect black kids going to school. School started, and the federal troops rolled in with military vehicles, fully armed, machine guns and all, just to escort those kids to class. You guys remember that? There's that classic scene in Forrest Gump. The internal conflict in America back then was a lot like today. Today, ICE is grabbing people in blue states like Minnesota, and the resistance they're facing from the locals, the so-called white leftist democratic organizations, is just as physical. People are throwing down, guns are drawn. It's intense. So look, even though we support President Trump's actions, the law is the law, and protecting the dignity of the country's immigration laws is urgent. But ICE is running a Mickey Mouse operation. Trump often puts together these ragtag teams. It's a bunch of temps, faces covered, trigger happy, beating people up at the drop of a hat. Is that even necessary? Why are you covering your faces? Like, we see ICE at the border all the time. They don't wear masks, but when they go to grab people in the cities, they're fully masked up and they're rough as hell. Sometimes they even grab the wrong people. They snatch citizens. A while back, they grabbed a Vietnam War veteran, a Hmong veteran. It was just so sloppy, man. Like, what the F are sick? You don't vet these guys before you grab them. You arrested a Vietnam War hero. Obviously, he's not an illegal immigrant. So situations like this make the American public really sick of ICE. The level of annoyance is kind of like what? It's like when we were kids in Beijing. Our friends from out of town, the ones without a temporary residence permit, if they were walking on the streets of Beijing at night, they'd get intercepted by Chinese cops who were basically like ICE. You got a Beijing Hukou household registration. Let me hear you speak. Mimics Beijing accent, just like ICE checking for an accent. As soon as you say a word of English with an accent, boom, not a local, you got a residence permit. Number bam, grab him. It's exactly like ICE. They'd tie you up, throw you in the van, and haul you off to Changqing to dig sand. Why drag you to Changqing to dig sand? Because when you get caught, you're usually broke. You don't have enough money to buy. To get yourself a train ticket home, you dig sand for, say, $8 or $10 a day. You dig sand for 15 damn days, earn enough for a ticket back to, say, Guangdong, and then they throw you on the train and deport you. It's just so similar, really similar. Back then, when I was 20 in Beijing, I hated that behavior. I didn't have to worry about being caught, but I had empathy because those people were just like us. They were doing the lowest level jobs in Beijing, selling breakfast, cleaning streets, sweeping up, working hard for very little money. Did they mess with you? Number, so why? Why just grab them so violently? Look, of course, in theory, legally speaking, you can say this isn't right, they should have a permit. But realistically, damn it, the law is one thing, humanity is another. So this issue is a very serious challenge facing America right now. ICE's recent behavior in the US has seriously pissed people off. And now President Trump comes out today saying that if states don't invite ICE in to enforce the law, they won't go. Like, where the hell was this attitude before? What were you thinking earlier? You've already sparked this massive wave of protests. You are going to lose the midterms. The midterms are in November 2026, if I recall correctly. And you're definitely going to lose. The way he's playing this, he's bound to lose. So now he's got to do something. Pull some big stunt. Look, old Wang here, referring to himself, isn't a hater and I'm not a fanboy, so I end up offending both sides. But it is what it is. I don't run this channel to suck up to anyone. Let's call a spade a spade. Trump wanting to secure the border. That's right. No argument there. No country can just let tens of thousands of illegal immigrants waltz in unchecked. That's a no-go for any nation. But you sent in a bunch of untrained kids, people who haven't studied, some who didn't even finish high school, basically. You've got a bunch of temps who are essentially thugs, hoodlums, and street punks. You put them in uniforms, give them gear, and send them out to grab people. A bounty of $300 a head, that's ICE's policy right now. Is that really appropriate? Don't you think playing it this way is going to lead to all sorts of crazy, unbelievable situations during enforcement? Because let me tell you, ICE agents are supposed to be police. Police are professionals. Think about how hard it is to become a regular cop, an FBI agent, or a sheriff. The physical tests, the exams, it's grueling. Did these ICE temps you're hiring now pass any of that? One question and I stump you. Did they pass? You expanded the force by so many people. They're all temps, aren't they? So how can you not have problems? It's just like the Chengguan city management back in China. Exact same thing, managing a city is right. Every country wants its cities to be relatively clean and orderly. But Chengguan need to be qualified, licensed, and trained in law enforcement. When you hire a mass of low-quality people, little punks, to be Chengguan, they're just going to beat the hell out of regular folks, snap their weighing scales, and steal fruit from old ladies. It creates a situation just like that old poem, The Charcoal Seller by Beijing. You know, half a bolt of red silk and a yard of damask tied to the ox's head as payment for the charcoal. It's legalized robbery. You're pushing it to the point where the people are going to hate your guts, because the masses aren't that rational. They're just going to see you grabbing people at Home Depot, grabbing people at elementary school gates, and think, this is too much. And don't tell me impossible they aren't thugs. ICE recruits undergo professional criminal background checks and are trained at HQ in Virginia. Bullshit, you dreaming? Look at the interviews. You got some kid standing there saying, I didn't finish high school, and I am making 20K. He's chatting with a protester, and the protester is cursing him out, talking about how they slam people to the ground and just start wailing on them. I honestly think even the Chinese Chengguan couldn't compete with that. The Chengguan aren't as bad as this civilized law enforcement. That is the mark of a country's progress. Public security police, prosecutors, courts, prisons, it should all be civilized. That's how you measure progress. The Nordic countries and Canada are way ahead on this. In Canada, the prisons have great conditions. You say Chengguan don't hit people, but ICE can. Okay, fine, actually. The Chengguan beat plenty of people back in the day too.